Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 4 Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we go to ISM Raceway in both the Xfinity Series as well as the Monster Energy Cup Series. And obviously at first we have the Xfinity Series here at ISM. We had subscriber Cam the Best in the car here today as he went down towards turns 1. Obviously, our car is still obviously not where it needs to be because we're in the first, handful of races of this new team's career. So obviously, there's still a lot of work to be done, but I can confirm that we're making some progress. I'll show some of the progress that we're making here in some of the coming episodes now as we came to at the midway point of this race. This was actually Cam getting past I think it was like 38th or 39th, but he just didn't have the speed on the straightaways that we needed. Unfortunately, is really our biggest issue is speed right now. If we can get the speed, we will be fine, but we're starting to hire more employees. We're getting more chassis built into our team, so I'm very confident that within the next maybe 5 to 10 races, we're going to get ourselves to be a little more competitive and hopefully get some top 20 finishes. I think really the main goal is to get some top 20s by the halfway point of the season. I'm not looking at the playoffs quite yet for this team this season, but we come to qualifying in the Cup Series here at ISM with a 25.970, and we go P10 here today for ISM Raceway as we get ready to go green here, so hopefully we can have a strong run here today in ISM.
Welcome to ISM Raceway for the Ticket Guardian 500, formerly known as Phoenix International Raceway just a few years back. This track recently completed a massive renovation that has improved the race experience for the fans and drivers alike. This race is about to begin, so let's head down to the track.
Alright, thank you, Rick Allen. We're ready to go green here for the Ticket Guardian 500 at ISM Raceway. Kyle Larson still holding a grudge. Corey LaJoie has been dominant all weekend in that 32 car. Kyle Busch on the pole as we get ready to go green here at ISM Raceway. Last time at this track, we were trying to make the Final Four. We missed out after blowing a right rear tire, actually, and collecting Brad Keselowski in the 2 car, who starts a few rows ahead of us as the green flag is out, and we are underway here at ISM Raceway. Kyle Busch leads the way. He's already actually getting to the back there of our teammate of Clint Boyer as we make this front stretch down towards this first opening few corners. Kurt Busch, Matt DiBenedetto on our inside here as we come through the center of the corner. So DiBenedetto up here towards the top 10 position as we go down this back straightaway on this opening lap here at ISM Raceway. Behind us, we got the 21 of Paul Menard, who sends it up our inside through the center of the corner. Kyle Larson, a rival, also getting into the mix here. So being stuck on this outside on these first opening laps. Now, obviously what we want or what we need as we go down towards the turns 1. A chance to get to that inside, but I actually screw up my entrance into turns 1, and that allows the 42 of Larson to get to my inside as we come through the center and exit of the corner. We have the momentum down the back straightaway, but he's already crowding us up, so I actually got out of the throttle and let him have the position. And we would be stuck behind the 42 of Larson from after that point on because we come to lap 7, approaching lap 8 now. We had still been running behind him now here on lap 11, still running behind him, as every time I would get to his inside, he would force me down the track, basically meaning I couldn't really get the position away now as we come through turns 3 and turns 4. Sure enough, he's not going to give us the room we need, but we tried to getting past him the best we could, but he's getting a little bit aggressive with us now as we go down towards the turns 1 with 7 laps to go in this first and opening stage. At this point, trying my best to get to the position, but you can see right there, it's just so hard. So as we come through with 2 to go, still held up by the 42, the car's head driving away. William Byron putting on some pressure as we go down towards turn 3. Up the inside now, the 42 of Larson again as we come through turns 3 and turns 4. And sure enough, he turns down on us and forces us under the line, and we're going to turn Larson on the exit of turns 4, and spinning the 42 goes as we cross the line, and the stage ends a lap early as we go down towards turns 1. P13 in the stage, and in my opinion, we had probably top 10 speed, but the 42 held us up so much. And when he forced me down there, I didn't actually initially mean to get into him on the exit of turn 4, but once I did, because he was forcing me down, once I got into him, I decided I was just going to drive through him at that point, because I had had enough of just waiting on him. Now, as we came through, gaining 1 spot on the pit lane, as we would obviously take 2 cans of fuel and 4 tires, and the green flag once again is out, and we are underway for stage 2. ISM hasn't been a track that has treated us well in the past as we go down towards turns 1. Obviously, when we hit the 2020 DLC, we will be going to ISM Raceway as the season finale, so we're definitely going to have to figure something out and hope that we win a championship before then, because the way we've raced at this track in the past games and in this game, I really don't know if we're going to be a championship threat when we come to ISM Raceway. So our speed here is definitely something that we're going to have to work on in future amateur races now as we come through, completing this opening lap of this second stage. Trying to get aggressive there with Eric Jones to go down into turns 1, running in this 13th position. At this point, William Byron into the mix, and so is Jimmy Johnson as we come through out of turn 2, heading down this back straightaway behind Eric Jones. At this point, as you see up ahead now on lap 7 of 16, Ty Dillon had actually came to the pit lane with some issues, and I was able to pounce on Eric Jones and pass him as we went down into turn 3. I'm down to P12 as we were trying to put some pressure on Chase Elliott, but he would actually leapfrog the cars ahead of us of Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski. So we come to 6 to go in the stage. The first 2 stages not very eventful so far, other than the Larson incident with us, but we sent it up the inside of Keselowski as well as we sent it up the inside of Logano. So towards the end of the stage, we're starting to find our stride a little bit now, as we would be able to have that edge on the 22 of Joey Logano down that back straightaway into turn 3. As Kyle Busch still led the way at this point. He's been dominating this race. He won the last episode, obviously, at Las Vegas in an incredible finish involving ourselves, where we already got 2 second-place finishes this season. As thankfully, though, as we went down into turns 1, we would clear the 22 of Joey Logano and set our sights back on that 9 of Chase Elliott, and he would actually get past Clint Boyer, and we would look to the inside of our Stewart-Haas Racing teammate of Boyer. Now Keselowski behind as we're approaching just 2 to go in the stages. Go down towards turn 3. Keselowski sends it up the inside 3 wide and makes major contact and actually goes spinning on the exit of turn 4, and that's going to bring out a caution and end the second stage about 2 laps early. That is a little bit of a habit from the AI, where they like to send it up the inside of a hole that's closing at ISM Raceway. We've seen Keselowski try to fill a hole that was closing before in real life, actually, at Texas in 2014, and he's just trying to do that here today in the game now, unfortunately, though. But now the green flag would come back. Obviously, we came to the pit lane for 2 cans of fuel, 4 tires, and we would come out here in P10, 41 laps to go at this point. And don't get me wrong, I do like Brad Keselowski. I think he's an extremely talented driver. He's still one of my actually favorite drivers, up inside that, at least the top 10 of my favorites as we go down this back straightaway here. We got Eric Jones on that inside as we go down towards turns 3. Logano and Hamlin behind us side by side. Obviously no love lost between those two, I'm sure, as Kyle Busch, he did win stage 2, so another playoff point to him. I believe he is certainly putting on a dominating performance here today at ISM Raceway. Ourselves, we just haven't seemed to quite have the speed that we need. Obviously last time here we actually got ourselves up towards a nearly a top 5 position, I think, in the later stages of that race, so we know we definitely have the potential to run well at this track. Now as Hamlin is up our inside as we come to the center of the corner, and Kyle Busch would exit turn 4 to continue leading here at ISM Raceway. It looks like it's going to be very hard to beat Kyle Busch today here. And now as we came through on lap 42, we had actually started to put the attack on our teammate of Kevin Harvick as we came out of turn 2 going down this back straightaway, so moving ourselves up into P11 at this point as we went down the back straightaway into turns 3. Harvick trying to battle back up the outside, but didn't quite have enough for us at this point. So we take P11 and set our sights on the next group of cars, as we got Denny Hamlin here as we come through turns 1 and turns 2, nearly getting into the back of the 11 of Hamlin as we go down this back straightaway. Harvick back into the mix. We're going 3 wide down the back straightaway with Hamlin and Harvick, so I back out early to cross Hamlin over on the inside as we come through turns 3 and turns 4, and we would be able to get ourselves just ahead of Denny Hamlin. And obviously Harvick got past us, but we would actually repass Harvick and get up to P10 now as we came through with Elliott and Truex as we came out of turn 2 heading down this back straightaway. 3 wide with them now, continuing to move forward. Elliott actually backed out of the 3 wide, so we got clear as we went down into turns 3. Kyle Busch still leading at this point as we came out of turn 4, now putting pressure on Martin Truex Jr., another driver that we would be able to actually get past, and we would be running now P8 as we came through on lap 54, looking to the inside of Paul Menard as a tire icon actually came on, and I decided that we're going to try and short pit a little bit early. We come to lap 56, and I decided it is time to come to the pit lane here as we go down towards turns 1, actually. It's a very weird pit entrance at ISM Raceway with the new configuration. No one else coming onto the pit lane, so it's just myself, and I would come in for 4 tires, 2 cans of fuel, as we didn't quite have enough fuel to get to the end of this race. So a little bit early of a pit stop, and hopefully it pays off here in the long run for us, but it's a 14.9 second pit stop as the estimated. And there is the stop right there. 14.9 is the actual stop now, as we would obviously rejoin the track here at ISM. Kyle Busch continuing to lead at this point, so we're just really hoping that the short pit would gain us a few positions. We came in and I think it was P8, so if we can get anything better than 8th, obviously it will be a success. And as we came through now on lap 63, drivers had just started to pit. They were pitting way later than myself, and I couldn't even make it to 63 here on the tires, so I was very surprised surprised the AI went this far, as Kyle Busch was actually closing in on me, but we came to lap 66, and he was finally coming to the pit lane as we come in through here behind Joey Logano, who we saw earlier. But I think we were actually ahead of Joey Logano when we had made our pit stop, so now I was a little bit concerned there as I'm fighting the car on the exit of the corner. We come to lap 68. I'm continuing to put the pressure on Logano as we came out of turn 4, but I was quickly realizing that we might not have enough tires here to go the final 10 laps. As we know, the further the tires go, the quicker they wear, but I was still putting on the pressure on the 22 of Logano, keeping an eye on those tires, and I came to a decision. We didn't have enough tires to get to the finish of this race at the pace I was running, so I decided to back off the pace now, and Logano would be able to fight back up my inside as we came through turns 3 and turns 4. This pit strategy was a complete failure. Now as we go through, hitting just a handful of laps to go now on lap 73 of 78, just trying to nurse the car home, but the caution actually would come out, and this would set us up for a late race restart. 26% on the right rear. At the pace I was going, I still don't know if I would have made it, so we obviously had to come to the pit lane. Kyle Busch looking like he's not. It's a bit of a mixed bag here for who's pitting, who's not pitting. Corey LaJoie is running P2 right now, but he's going to come to the pit lane. So obviously I was a little kind of just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Do I want to pit? Do I not? I decided we would pit to take no fuel, and I decided that we should probably take 2 tires would be the best bet, and then hopefully that we can figure something out here. But we would lose 3 positions and drop to P18 as we're about to go green with 2 laps to go here at ISM Raceway. Now as the green flag is back out, 2 laps remain for Kyle Busch, who won the last episode at Las Vegas, and he tries to go 2 in a row today here at ISM Raceway as Jimmy Johnson is there behind the 22 of Joey Logano as we go down into turns 1 on the outside of Eric Jones, William Byron, and Danny Hamlin now as we come through the center of the corner, and on the exit of turn 2 heading down this back straightaway, gaining as many spots as we can on this opening lap. Now a lap and a half remain here at ISM Raceway behind Matty Benedetto, but now we're stuck here as there's a bit of a traffic jam now as we come through turns 3 and turns 4. Kyle Busch leads on the final lap here today at ISM Raceway. William Byron in the 24 car on our inside as we go down towards turns 1. It hasn't been the best effort for us here as we had a great start to the season. Obviously a strong effort in Daytona, a second place in Atlanta after actually a really rough race, a second place in a thrilling race at Las Vegas, but today it hasn't quite gone our way as we go down into turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time here at ISM Raceway. Kyle Busch will go back-to-back with a win at Vegas, and now ISM Raceway as we come through to cross the line here behind Austin Dillon to get P13 here today in Phoenix. So a little bit unfortunate that we just didn't quite have the speed. I think we had a top 10 car. It's just we didn't get the finish that we quite deserved here today. As I said after the race, we had decent speed today, but still have some work to do, obviously, especially for next time that we come here later this season. Hopefully we will be in that final 8 drivers and get into that final 4. But kind of Chase Elliott after the race, not very happy. I don't remember when I got into him, but apparently we did at one point in the race. But as always, if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be very appreciated. In the next one, we go to Auto Club, and that's going to be a pretty good one. I already recorded that one, so I know what it's going to look like, so I can't wait for you guys to see that one. But there is the points. Landon Castle still in the playoffs. We'll see how long that lasts. So I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.